What if I told you that your biggest limitation is not your intelligence, not your past, not your environment, but a loop running silently in your mind? Neuroscientists say we think 60,000 thoughts a day, and over 80% of them are the same as yesterday. That means most people are not living a new life. They're just replaying an old one. And here's the shocking part. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a thought you choose and a thought you repeat. So if your thoughts don't change, your results won't either. Today, I'm going to share 7 powerful principles to renew your mind. Principles backed by neuroscience, psychology, and timeless wisdom that can quietly rewire how you think, feel, and act. Stay till the end, because principle number 7 is the one almost nobody practices, and it's the reason most personal growth fails. Most people try to change their life, but never change the place where life actually begins. Why renewing your mind changes everything. 7 principles backed by science, psychology, and ancient wisdom. A few years ago, a researcher asked a simple question. Why do 2 people with the same talent, same education, and same opportunities end up with completely different lives? After decades of research, the answer was clear. It wasn't discipline. It wasn't motivation. It wasn't luck. It was mental programming. Your mind is either being renewed, or it's being reinforced. There is no neutral. Let's begin. You cannot renew what you don't recognize. Most thoughts feel like facts, but they're not. They're suggestions. Research from Harvard shows that simply observing a thought reduces its emotional power. Instead of saying, "I am anxious," say, "I'm noticing anxious thoughts." That tiny shift creates mental distance, because the moment you see the thought, you stop being controlled by it. Renewal begins with awareness, not effort. Your brain is a prediction machine. The more you repeat a thought, the more your brain treats it as truth. Neuroscience calls this neural wiring. Ancient wisdom called it meditation. You are always meditating on something. Your fears, your failures, your future. The question is it intentional? If you repeat scarcity, your brain searches for lack. If you repeat possibility, your brain scans for opportunity. Repetition doesn't just shape belief. It shapes perception. Here's something powerful. Your brain remembers emotion, not logic. That's why trauma lasts. That's why joy imprints. That's why motivation fades if it's emotionless. Research shows that emotionally charged thoughts are remembered 4x stronger. So when renewing your mind, don't just think differently. Feel differently. Attach gratitude. Attach hope. Attach meaning. Emotion is what locks the new thought in place. The words you use become the world you live in. Studies in cognitive psychology show that self-talk shapes identity. Not positive affirmations, but identity statements. Instead of, "I'm trying to be confident," say, "I'm becoming someone who acts despite fear." Your brain aligns behavior with identity. Change the language, and the behavior follows. Your mind consumes before it creates. What you watch, what you listen to, what you scroll, all of it programs you. Research shows chronic exposure to negative content increases stress hormones, even when you think you're unaffected. Renewal requires mental nutrition. Protect your mind like you protect your body. You don't eat poison daily and expect strength. Silence isn't empty. It's regenerative. Neuroscience confirms that stillness activates neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. When you slow down, the brain reorganizes. That's why breakthroughs come in the shower. That's why clarity comes in quiet moments. Stillness isn't laziness. It's strategic. This is the principle most people ignore. You can't renew your mind while living in constant contradiction. If your thoughts say growth, but your actions say comfort, the brain defaults to habit. Change sticks when thoughts, emotions, and actions align. Small aligned actions, repeated daily, signal the brain, this is who we are now. That's how identity shifts. Renewing your mind is not about becoming someone new. It's about removing the noise, so who you really are can emerge. Every belief you hold was learned, which means it can be unlearned. The mind is not your enemy. It's your instrument. Train it with intention, and your life will follow.